Hello, hello. Welcome back. So the Women's Prize long list got announced. That was a shocker, wasn't it? So firstly, apologies for the film and setup and the lateness of this video going up. Work has been horrific. I've been working away for the last 2 days. I've done loads of driving and loads of meetings and I am cooked. But I wanted to get this video out before it was like 2023. So I'm filming and I can't be asked to sit on the floor. So here I am. I have my laptop next to me because, you know, grey matter is lacking. And I thought we could just go through the books that are on the long list, the ones that I predicted. Also, I'm going to mention a few that I'm really shocked that didn't make it. I'm still wearing my sunglasses and it's like 8:30 at night. Just generally have a bit of a chat. It's not going to be a super long video because, as before mentioned, tired, long days. And I've got to edit this and try and get it up tomorrow. So anyway, stop waffling, Gemma. So what was on the long list? First up, Build Your House Around My Body by Violet Kupersmith. So this one I had heard of before. And I think this is about two Vietnamese women who go missing like 50 years apart or something like that. I think it's a bit sort of magical realism-ish, maybe. But yeah, the cover's pretty. The premise sounds interesting. Yeah, keen to give that one a go. Next up, we have Careless by Kirsty. I actually do own this one on my Kindle already, so obviously I was interested in it, but my Kindle has about 600 books on that aren't read, so I hadn't got to it. Now I will get to it. And this one I think is about a teen in the care system and how she sort of deals with her pregnancy. Sounds like something I would read, note the fact I've bought it. But yeah, I'm quite glad to see it on there because I think it's more sort of mainstream fiction than literary fiction. So yeah, keen to see whether that one sort of tickles my pickle, as Simon Savage would say. Creatures of Passage by Marowa Yejide. Sorry. I actually have no idea what this one is about. I haven't looked them all up, but that was certainly one that had never crossed my path before. As with the next one, called Flamingo by Rachel Elliot. Yeah, not heard of that one before. And I think, because I have watched some of the reaction videos, and I think Simon Savage like read the blurb out and I still don't really have any idea what it's about. I think it's like family dynamics and that sort of governs. Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. I predicted this one. Out of how many so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 out of 5. So this is the one about the female pilot, like back in the day when there weren't really any female pilots, and she wants to do the Great Circle around the Earth, the world. And it's split timeline with sort of like a modern day movie actress. We'll see, but this one I do also own on my Kindle and I've been meaning to get to since it was on the booker list. But I'll be surprised I haven't got to it yet. Okay, Remote Sympathy by Catherine Chidgey. Okay, so this is the one. I did look this one up and it's set in somewhere in Germany. Is it Munich? About a woman who sort of moves to just outside one of the concentration camps and sort of befriends one of the prisoners there, and she's like completely ignorant to what's been happening like in her backyard basically. So yeah, it's about sort of the damage that ignorance can do, I think. But this one is quite a chunker, I believe, but it does sound right up my alley. World War II historical fiction, that is my jam, so I would really like to get to that one. Next we have Salt Lick by Lulu, Allison, and when I had a little look at this in Goodreads, it's got like 14 reviews. Like literally nobody has read this book except obviously someone on the panel of the Women's Prize Longlist. But I definitely want to read this one because it's like agriculture. So if you're new to my channel, I work in agriculture. I have worked for companies that sell salt licks. So yeah, I'm keen to see what a whole book about salt licks is like. It sounds like it could be really, really dull, but I'm hoping that because it's on this list, it's not. We shall see, but I will definitely pick this one up just because it's got a sheep on the cover. Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. No idea what this one is about, but I didn't predict it. I reckon it'll be good because it's on the list. Right, the next one that I predicted, so now I've got two, was the Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. So this is about a young boy who his dad dies and then objects in his house talk to him, I think. So it's broadly about how like children deal with grief, that sort of thing. I think, again, chunky boy, this one. Chunky. The Bread the Devil Knead, which I think is such a good title. I think this is Caribbean fiction, and I think it's almost in the vein of How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House from last year. So I think it's sort of like domestic violence and sort of living in an idealistic place, but the darkness beneath, the hidden darkness, is what I understand. I could be making that up, but I'm like 60% sure that's what it's about. Another one that I'd never heard of, The Exhibitionist by Charlotte Mendleson. So yeah, I don't know what this one is about. I haven't really looked into it, but we'll give it a go. Next is the final revival of Opal and Nev, which I didn't predict, but I do really want to read, and it has been on my radar for a while. And this is about like a band. That's all I really know. And I think it's sort of in the vein of Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have already purchased the audiobook for this because it has a full cast, and I saw Fraser Simons review this a while back and said the audiobook is fantastic. So I will be picking this one up on audio very, very soon. Next week, I have an 8-hour drive on Monday, so I will get through a fair chunk of it on Monday. Another one that I predicted, Elif Shafak's The Island of Missing Trees, which when I watched Simon Savage talk about this the other day, apparently it is told from like a daughter's perspective as she looks back at like how her parents met in Cyprus, and one of her parents was Greek Cypriot and the other one was Turkish Cypriot, and it was sort of like a forbidden love situation. And there's a talking fig tree. Well, I don't know if it's a talking fig tree or you just get the perspective of the fig tree, something along those lines. But yeah, very, very keen to pick this one up. Next we have The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. Again, I'd heard of this one, but I don't really know anything about it. I can tell because it's got a sticker on it. It was part of like the Reese Witherspoon book club, which I have had quite good success with when I've read some from that list before. So yeah, definitely one that I will try and prioritise, I think. Next is another one that I predicted. So what is that? Is that 4? I think that's 4. I can't count. And that's Louise Erdrich's The Sentence. And this is set in a bookstore that's being haunted, and a girl comes in and she's just come out of prison and she has to figure out why this bookstore is being haunted by this random old woman. So yeah, this is getting quite a lot of hype at the moment, this book, and I've already agreed to buddy read it with Alice next month because she's been sucked into the hype. Alice from Alice on the Giant Bookshelf, FYI. Yeah, she's succumbed to the FOMO, to the fear of missing out, and we're going to buddy read that one. And the last one on the list is another one that I do own, but I didn't predict. This One Sky Day by Leone Ross. I can't remember what this one is about. No, I can't remember what it's about. But I do own it. I am going to read it. It has a really pretty cover. So yeah, that is the long list, the 16 books. And I think they are very exciting. I'm really pleased to see so many books on here that I hadn't heard of before. And some that I wanted to read but didn't predict as going on to this list. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. There were a few that I thought probably should have made it that didn't. I really thought Matrix by Lauren Groff was going to be on this. That was one of the ones I was more confident about. The Sally Rooney, I'm surprised it's not on the list, but I'm not gutted about it because it's not like one that I really, really want to read. And the love songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, I really thought was going to make the list. But purely based on the size of it, I'm quite glad it hasn't, but there are still a fair few large books on here. I think I did actually write it down. I wrote some page numbers down. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay, there's only two that are over 500 pages, and that's Remote Sympathy and the Book of Form and Emptiness. But yeah, oh wait, and Great Circle is like over 600 pages. So yeah, there's three quite chunky ones, and then we've got this one, Sky Day, is nearly 500 pages. So yeah, there are quite a few bigger books on here. The smallest one is The Bread the Devil Knead, which is like 277 pages. So I have no excuse for not getting to that one. But yeah, very excited. I do have something cooking with Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plots on the long list. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, tell me which books you are most looking forward to getting to from the long list. If you have been sucked into the hype this year. I was watching Lauren from Lauren and the Books the other day, and she called this Bookish Christmas, and that is definitely what it is. So yeah, apologies for the ramshackle setup, but needs must. Okay, cheers guys, bye.